Well, you should always think about what you wish for. And sometimes I wish for ribbon mics. And when they come in, I have a lot to do. I've been trying to get everything done and also still juggling being a producer. A lot of cool stuff going on with me, even music and my own music. I'm about to release a single from my new band, a really cool song that, if you are a member here, I'm going to premiere it with my membership peeps. I think I have 8, and I think I know all their names. So, anyways, if you can, and if you run across this, you can not only add me, like, add, but you can also become a member. I mean, you can subscribe, but being a member does help me out. And you can always buy me a Pellegrino or a coffee. How do you do that? Well, in the description, I think below that, there's a little icon that says thanks, and you can actually buy me a coffee because I'm a coffee whore and a Pellegrino whore. All right, so the topic was Golden Age. Uh, and just an interesting fact in the history of Golden Age, maybe 10, 15 years ago, there was a company called Apex and Shiny Box. And the same mic that you're seeing for Golden Age is the same mic that you see for Nady. And it's the same mic, totally same mic. And it's the same mic that you would see for Golden Age and then Apex. Usually, I wouldn't take on too many old Apexes because the magnets go out. What's up, Chaz? Um, Thank you. And but this one is a Golden Age, which is a modern mic. Now, I always tell you about Chinese mics. These are brand new MXLs that I upgrade and turn into these bad boys. Chaz, you gotta grab one of these or get a pair. I mean, you should grab a pair and send them to me, and you should turn those into green meanies. Um, these, not this one in particular, but these all come with the same transducers. Most Golden Ages have this inside. The same ones that are in Cascades, same ones that are in Pinnacles. These are all made in China. The same thing. The magnets go there, and the ribbon goes in the middle. I'm not saying that in a condescending way. I'm saying that's the reality of building things. You can go one-stop shop, call the company in China, they'll put your logo on it, and you got this mic. So I just wanted to show you these because I'm also doing these as well. Even though that's a Golden Age, they're still a little expensive. These are $100, a little bit more than $100. You can buy these at Sweetwater, and then I turn them into these green meanies, and they sound incredible. These sound like $1,200 ribbon mics, but you could buy it for a little bit over $100. So that's what I do, but that's not the topic of today, which I'm talking about this motherfucker. Hold on a second. Let me put the my stash back in the schnizzle manizzle. So, Golden Ages, you'll soon see me open this up. And they have an hourglass kind of transducer, which is, I've only seen in R84s. So I think at the time these came out, were probably the Chinese version of trying to make an R84. And I think that's why these potentially could sound really good. Now, I know people talk about Golden Age, like, well, they cost a lot. But honestly, they cost us. This is an 80. I know you can get the one that has a tube in it, and you can get the one that's active, but it's basically a loud 80. And I don't, and these all have the same ribbons in it. Now, there's a difference when you talk about these kind of companies like MXL and these companies. They're made to make mics for the masses, so they're mass produced. They're meant to be cheap, and you can sell a lot of these. The difference is the designs are all almost the same. But what makes this company different than AEA? Like, why does this mic cost a few $100? But if you want to buy something that kind of looks like this at AEA, it costs $1,400. One, not only are they going to be like brass parts and, cosmetically there may be things that just are technically nicer, but the design's the same. It's magnets, a transducer, and a transformer. So yeah, you can put a Lindell in here or Cinemag, but now you got a loud, bad mic. And why, if you put a Cinemag, or they come with Cinemags, R84s, they sound like fucking God. Well, it's the ribbon department. And this is what I spent the last 4 or 5 years working on. Every company you go to, AEA, Royer, if you want, okay, don't even believe me, just go watch a video on how things are made. I think they do one on Royer. You'll see the ribbon department, it's fucking serious. They weigh the ribbon, and every ribbon weighs the same that they put in their microphones. The discrepancies or the tolerances of the gap of the ribbon, which is where the ribbon stays, is this like if I had 10 Royers and I measured one, I could cut 10 ribbons. And as I go through the 10 Royers, after I've cut the ribbons first, all my ribbons would fit inside perfect. If I had 10 Golden Ages, 10 MXLs, to any mic made in China, basically, minus maybe SE. I think SE makes a high quality ribbon. Their tolerances, and I know Sui, the owner, probably would not accept things unless it really sounded good. And we all know that SE microphones are affordable and they sound great. But it's a ribbon. And these go from, the gap can move around a 0.5 millimeter or more. So if I had 10 of these, and I cut the ribbon let's say I had 10 boxes of these, and I measure this one out and I cut 10 ribbons, my ribbon would not fit in those 10. Some would be smaller, some would be bigger, or they'd all be malnourished because maybe this one's a smaller diameter. So when I cut the ribbon, and let's say this is 5 millimeters and all the other ones are 5.2, 5.5, my ribbon gap would be off and the mic would not sound good. Now, how much does a nice ribbon sound? Well, I cut and put these Royer-esque ribbons, and I only say the Royer-esque because my gears and the cogs and my corrugator are made like Royers, where I don't corrugate with paper. That doesn't sound like who cares. When you buy ribbons, they come in this paper to protect them. And I'll show you when I take this ribbon out how sensitive these are to rip. When you go to Royer, they corrugate them without the paper. So my gears crush and corrugate without tearing the ribbon. That's a hard thing to make happen. And I can do it. So what I do is basically, it's like if you drop this mic off at Royer and your buddy works there, let's say his name is Rob, and you say, hey, Rob, can you put a Royer ribbon in this mic? And he's like, yeah. He measures it up, drops the ribbon in. Now you have a high quality fucking mic. And that's what I do. All these videos you're going to watch of me. But not only that, I'm a producer. So when you go to my studio, I've got ATCs, NEVs, APIs. I'm fully fledged recording bands. And here's another cool thing. I just did a ribbon today for one of the cats in Ben Harper's band. So I have constantly, like, not only legit people, but real artists that are enthusiastic about hearing their ribbon mics. I did Elon, the new drummer for Foo Fighters, when he was in Nine Inch Nails. I did his Bayer 160s. I did Justin McDowell Johnson. He's in St. Vincent Beck. He's a producer, did Paramore. I've gone over Daniel Lanois. I'm making a mic right now for Daniel Lanois. I know this is repeatable. And the singer from Granddaddy actually has a Nady. No, I think maybe an Apex, the same one. And he uses it a lot. So ribbon mics are, to me, one of the coolest things that you can do. If you had a really, if you would buy an MXL and then you were to drop a Neumann capsule in the MXL, you may have a great sounding mic, because that capsule is killer. Minus the transformer and some of the details, it's probably still going to sound fucking good. So ribbons are the same way. So when you see me do this and we talk about it, I don't own this mic. Actually, this is the guy from Ben Harper's. He dropped off some mics, and this is one of them. And I thought it'd be interesting to do, to speak about ribbons. And everybody that like is tuned in knows what I'm doing. But yeah, it's a kind of a weird thing, and there's nothing, nothing's going on here. Like, I'm not showing you my tits or something crazy. I mean, these are fucking ribbon mics. It's the market of microphones and gear is a smaller market, and the knowledge that people know about ribbons is kind of the unknown taboo, because you're told that they blow easy and you can't use them. And then we put our faith in the microphones that people say, yeah, you can put these up on a snare. Now, I will say, for resilience, it really is only Royer. And if you look at their microphones, there's not a lot keeping the wind or the sound waves from hitting the ribbons. But when you get into AEA, there's a massive amount of technology in that whole covering of the microphone, because they're trying to protect it. And it doesn't mean because an N22 you can put on a snare, which I have, and it sounds fucking sick. There's an AEA mic. But that sounds sick because you have basically, a baseball glove probably of sound deadening around the ribbon to withstand the sound pressure of a snare being hit. Now, if you had a Coles microphone, which are about $3,500 to $3,000 for a pair, and you were to put that on a snare, you're going to shred your ribbon, because that mic isn't made with anything that's protecting the ribbon from being damaged. And the ribbon I'm putting these mics are 2.5, which is pretty thick. Most ribbons of the world are 1.8, but Coles is 0.6. So it's like air, but they're the most expensive ribbons. Now, there would be an argument like, well, why don't you just, put a thick ribbon in a Coles? Because guess what? It's probably the only mic in the world that I don't believe in that, because I think the mic will sound different. And if I'm doing anything to tell you that I can fucking kick ass, I can kick ass on any fucking ribbon mic of the world. The only mics that I will say that I will not even step to say that I can make better sounding are Coles. I think they sound fucking incredible as is. There's nothing to improve on it. They've been made since the probably 50s, 60s. Nothing to improve on. Nothing to see here. And also, of a new microphone, an AE8 R88. It's fucking bonkers on how good that mic is. So if someone brought me in an R88, I would not tell them that I'm going to make this sound better than it was. I'm just going to I'm going to put a ribbon in there, and it's going to sound fucking great, and I can do it. But with these mics, my ribbons in these make a big difference, because those mics are optimum. They're like Coles, or just the magnets are like 5 pounds. When you get into R88s, they've figured out the mathematics of the everything about that mic is perfect. The way it's positioned, the way the both figure eights are made. I mean, whatever they did it right. But then you get into these companies, which are basically just kind of, it's like going to McDonald's. This is McDonald's, or maybe this is like Chili's. It's not fucking Outback. And it's not going to be Ruth's Steakhouse, but it's Chili's. And you get into the MXLs, now you're talking McDonald's. But we love them, and they're tasty as fuck. So let's get into this guy, or girl, whatever this mic is. I've already started taking it apart because it just has some screws and bolts. I think I only have one screw in this one to do. So that's my kind of wrap out about that stuff. But yeah, Chaz, man, I think you should get one of those green meanies before I stop doing them. Things are getting crazy in my life, and I don't know how long, because they take a lot of days. I mean, I paint them, and it takes me about 2 to 4 hours each mic just to do the ribbon. And then also I test them. If they sound fucking weird, I do them again. That's another 2 to 4 hours. So I just don't know. I just try. I have like producer's Tourette syndrome, where I talk a bunch of shit, but then also I can't stop working on a mic unless it sounds good. Paul would know that. I've done his Buyer 260 now 3 times because every time I do it, I'm like, it's almost right. And it's just temperamental. It's an old mic. It's got some funkiness in the top of the mic that I figured out, and now it sounds fucking cool. But yeah, it took me a bit, and I can't just send it off to England and tell Paul that it's good because I don't believe it's good. All right, so when you get these mics, now this is what's interesting, I'll tell you. Because I've been working on Apexes, which I will not, if you have an Apex, I can't work on it because the magnets deteriorate in those. But when you got Apexes a long time ago, and I'm talking 15 years ago, when I started doing them about 5 years ago, everybody said, just take this out, throw it away. This is a silk, which I understand the silk. All RCAs have a silk kind of skirt inside, but they have this. So there's no silk in this one, which is screen, and then you have silk here, which will stop sound waves from damaging the ribbon. But then they put this on it. I think it's a little overkill. So when I would get Apexes, everybody would remove these. So in doing that, you open up the microphone. So now you got your silk still protecting the mic, and now you have a screen, and now you have a really opened up, beautiful ribbon. So I think wisely and tastefully, you would use this like the way you would use an R84. And this is probably as much as you're going to find in an R84. And the reason they have this cage around the silk, I believe, is just to give it a little bit of room between these two. But I do think this would add sound. Anything you put between the ribbon is going to add sound. So I mean add sound maybe in a bad way. So I'm going to take this out of the Golden Age. I'm not going to put it back. Now the ribbon's going to be more opened up. And like I said, this is for my friend who's in Ben Harper's band. And I just believe I got to do it, you know? Yeah, it could be. This isn't active though. Yeah, this is not. But this would be the same as the one I did for you. So I'm keeping the grill. I'm not going to be using these. I don't think it's going to do anything for the sound. And since I've done enough of these, I've heard these sound way better and more opened up. So this one, if you look inside, just has a transformer. And the wires run to the XLR. Ribbon mics are fucking like cavemen. You know? I was wondering why things look weird. I don't have my glasses on. Hold on a second. Hold it now. Hold that thought. Talk amongst yourself. No pornography talk. Oh, life is much better when you have glasses. Because I was going to look at the transformer and then I go, oh shit. You would see it a lot better. So let's see what the transformer says. It just says ribbon mic. It has a serial number. I don't know what kind of transformer this is. It looks kind of like a Cinemag. It could be a copy of a Cinemag. Well, just when I said that, we had a guy pipe in with some really interesting information. All right, so yeah, that's what the transformer looks like. Looks very Cinemag-y. Could be Jensen. I don't know. I don't know what these come with. But I do like this style of mic because of how long the ribbon is, and I like the hourglass of, once I open this up, which is an R84, which sounds great, and also the R88 has the same kind of hourglass, I believe. Transducer, these plates with the holes in them, and the only reason I would not remove those and don't put them back, for whatever reason, AEAs, some 44s, some Coles, even Coles, this is what the outside of the Coles looks like with silk. So that's why I'm not too much in fear, because Coles are 0.6 thickness in ribbon. This will be a 2.5. A Coles is basically this, silk, and the ribbon. So I feel, hold on a second, desolder. You know what? I don't do anything with the XLRs because they're already done, and this one has one that's just you just plug right into it. So I don't know anything about the soldering of this unless something breaks, and then I have to solder it back on. But yeah, so if you symbolically think about it, this would be a Coles. It has the holes which actually keep it from being boomy because the low end hits it and it kind of dispersed. And if it didn't have this ribbon may be really bassy and boomy. And so this kind of thins out the low end, makes it more articulate for the vocals or whatever you're recording with. And like I said, a Coles would be this, the silk, and the ribbon. I'm kind of doing the same thing here. I'm making it into kind of be, accept the sound like a Coles would be, except, you know, I'm sure. So we're going to work on this right now. And I'm going to take this apart. Let me see if I got the right side. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. So sometimes I have to take out both sides of the plates, and then sometimes I don't. So I'm just going to say, hopefully this one I don't, and I can work on it all from the top. Now, even though I'm using a ratchet on this, I'm not going to crank it. I think this will come loose without it. Let's see. Yeah. You don't have to use a ratchet on this. If anything, this is really soft metal, and you're likely to strip it out. So this is a Golden Age R1, which is a passive microphone. Not active. Passive, you don't need 48 phantom power to power it up. Active, you can just almost think of it as a preamp. It's making the mic a little bit louder. I don't like active ribbons. I think they sound strange because I think there's some artifacts of the preamp that I just don't really like that sound. I want to hear the ribbon, the instrument, and even though transformers have a little bit of a sound, when you use active, it's kind of like, for me, it's like kind of like saying, I have a Neve. Why would I want to put a Mackie between my Neve and the... and I just feel like they're cheap. It's just the preamp bit, but I'm just saying. I gotta get that out of there. It's stuck inside. Come on. Give me a hard time here. Get another one. Okie dokie. But thank you for asking the question about soldering. Soldering's not really my game, but if I have to, I will. This would be considered, this is a question to Q Dorian. This would be considered a figure 8 mic. Now, here's an interesting thing. If you see this mic, I'll show you. This will be cool. Okay. So, this is the sound. This is the front, so this is positive, and that's negative. So it's a figure 8. This is void or null. Like if you had drums right here, they would not be as loud as being here or here. If you wanted to make this into maybe omnidirectional or kind of cardioid, you'd put a solid plate behind here, probably curved, like almost like it's like a spoon curved, and it would have to engulf that. The sound would come in, hit this back plate, go into the bottom of the mic, which would be a sound chamber, and then come out either the top or bottom, which would add the delay then to make it more in your face. So you can make, my ribbon mic I'm working on right now is somewhat that. So like an RCA 77 has a mechanical plate that comes in and moves. And that's how you make the mic go from omnidirectional to figure eight to more cardioid or more zoomed in sound by covering the rear of the figure eight. But the sound has to go somewhere and usually goes into a sound chamber. So that would be the breakdown of my schnizzle manizzle. All right. I say all right a lot. Okay, I think I heard a little something fall. All right. I said all right again. I said I was going to say all right. And then I immediately go, all right. Okay. Okay, it's better. I need a shot of my Pellegrino. Thanks for asking that question, sir. Or ma'am. I can't see the picture. Oh boy. All right, all right, all right. Okay. So, what I love about these mics is that R84 and R88 have more of an hourglass shape. What does that mean? Most Chinese mics, but this is a Chinese mic, they come with a transducer like this. If you notice, that is definitely not the same shape. When the sound goes around that with these holes in the grill, it's kind of a beautiful thing, you know? So this, I think this transducer may be smaller than R84. So these magnets, my light game going on. Gonna get a little crazy here. Okay, so these magnets are 2-inch magnets. The most Chinese mics of the world, I think it's going to be 1.5. These two lines kind of is where the magnet starts. Yeah, about 1.5. So the RD4s are 1.5, and I want to say these look like 2-inch magnets. Yep, and that's a big difference. This style of ribbon is more of a classic style of a ribbon. And I think that's why I like these, because for the bang for the buck, these would consider more of a classic sound. Now, when I do the RD4s, they sound fucking incredible on guitars, on a guitar cabinet. This would not be something I would put against a guitar cabinet, because when you get a smaller ribbon, the sound pressure, like this is so long that that ribbon could stretch out and get damaged. Royers are probably more like MXLs, probably 1.5. I have a Royer that I've got to get to. But yeah, so technically this mic is a beautiful mic. The only problem is it just has a Chinese ribbon, and it looks a little bit off in the middle. Let's see. Really loose. I think it should be tighter than that. And what's good about this mic, though, these wires that run around are kind of like humbucker pickups. When you talk about the humbucker, how the coil surrounds the pickup and makes it less noisy, that's why that wire. So this is the ground wire, and the positive wire is probably welded onto the bottom of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this ribbon out. I'm going to measure the gap, and then I'm going to put in a Manny ribbon, which is going to be like putting a long extended Royer ribbon in here. This ribbon is still good, but it doesn't have the resilience of the ribbon that I will put in. And even the detail of this pattern here, the one that I put in will be a lot sharper and probably have better mids and highs. And also, because I'm measuring it, getting closer to the gap, we'll probably have an improvement of anywhere between 2 to 5 to 6 dBs, depending. This gap looks pretty good, but the only falter is this ribbon is laxed. I think the corrugation could be better. And if this was an AEA mic, it would not be that if we could see so flimsy. I don't think it would be that anyways. So there you go. Give me 1 second. Dumb question. Let's see. Can you turn a figure eight mic into a quarter eight by covering on the side of the mic? Will that work with any kind of mic? You know what? One, I would say it could, but all the mics. I'm answering a question from Bukalimu. Buka Limu, I guess maybe. Thank you for asking that question. I just expressed how you would have to build a Bradley. What the fuck, Bradley? Jesus Christ, dude. I gotta remember that. Buka de Bradley from Texas. You would have to build a plate that would almost be like a spoon. Like it would almost be let's say this paper. You'd have to build like a brass plate that would be like, it would engulf the back of the ribbon, but it would have to be mechanical that you would move it or not. And it would have to get the sound and send it into a sound chamber. Those are the greatest ribbon mics in the world that have that. If you just put the plate behind it, you're going to get a weird filtered sound because this is positive and the back is negative. And if we put that in the back, it's going to stop the frequencies from becoming positive to negative, and you're going to get this out of phase kind of a thing. So, like for instance, this mic doesn't have enough room to do that. You would have to have double this, where this would be the sound chamber. So you'd have to build some kind of apparatus that either moves or captures the sound, sends it into a hole, at least 2 to 3 feet. The sound's going to go around this hole and either come back out here or come back out there. And that is what the KU5s by AEA, which costs $5,500, or a vintage 77, which costs, I don't know, 22 to 3,500 bucks, or to even some of the new AEA mics have sound chambers. And a BK5, famous mic, that has a different type of a ribbon than this one, but symbolically, yeah, that only works when you could change where the sound goes, and then that mathematics of 2 feet, 3 feet, whatever it takes for that sound to arrive back, and it makes it in phase with the front. That is the biggest factor with these mics to make them that. That's why most of these are just figure eight, and I do my best to try to keep things away from getting it. And that's why I think mics like this and the MXLs are perfect storms, because the head baskets are big enough. Now, when you talk about a Royer doesn't have any wiggle room inside, but there is a lot of I don't know if it'd be felt or whatever the foam is inside. It's covered with a lot of foam all the way from the top to the bottom, and cotton maybe, because that keeps the sound from screaming around the sound chamber of the mic and affecting the ribbon. So either you have a really dead, everything surrounding the ribbon is completely dead, and then maybe you can work on a sound chamber, but I don't know, and I haven't fooled around with that. But the mic that I'm making now has a sound chamber. It's not like this style of a mic, but it's kind of like a BK5, and I had to make a sound chamber because that's the only way that mic sounds. I think it's super cardioid. So yeah, there's a difference for sure. Yeah, I mean shotgun mics. I mean there's some shotgun ribbon mics. If you put two of these mics together, you put one behind it, and they would have to be facing, you have to get a ribbon that faces this way and you have facing this way. You can, between the cancellation of this one behind it and in front of it, you can get a shotgun sound. There's some really rare Russian ones that were made like that, and actually BK5s from the 50s, they were able to put two BK5s, kind of like, that movie, what was that movie where everybody's mouth got sewed to the asshole? whatever the fuck it was called. Anyways, that's what they do to ribbon mics. You just stick one to the other one and they're eating each other's ass out. And if you can do the mathematic distance and make sure that there's sound that's coming around that's arriving later, I don't know about that. That's some black magic shit, but you can definitely make a shotgun mic out of ribbons. Yeah, the human centipede. So ribbon mics, you can put two back to back, but they would have to be supercardioid to work. And then, like I said, the distance of that is something that's crazy. So I don't have that kind of in my DNA right now to do that. And I don't think I'd ever really want a shotgun mic. And if I did want a shotgun mic, I would probably buy an old Altec or something, the one that John Bonham used. So, anyways, I'm 35 minutes in this and I have not removed the ribbon. So let's just get going. I have to change this one, I'm pretty sure. I've done a few of these coming up where I've got all the ratchets together. And like I said, I'm doing these by hand to tighten and to loosen. You don't need a full ratchet, and you don't want to ruin these. That just fell through. That is the only reason why initially I was like, should I remove the bottom? Because now if I lose a screw, oh Nelly. You know, my studio's starting to cook. Hold on a second. I turn off my AC, and you know, if you have a studio, it's like airtight. And suddenly I start feeling like I'm in a fucking, someone put me in a closet and I'm cooking. I guess that's why I'm always fucking grabbing the Pellegrinos and chug-a-lugging 2 of them per mic session because it gets fucking hot in here. Okay. Now everything is magnetized, so these little bolts are gonna want to scream to get in the engine, the motor. I'm gonna try not to have that happen. So I'm just removing. Now I have all these different sizes. So this is a smaller one for these small bolts. This is the bigger one for the plate that was on the front. And then, where did I put that bad boy? Hold on. This one is for the big screws in the side. So you need 3 different types of, you need a ratchet set basically to work on this motherfucker. It's not my favorite, but this is Ben Harper's mine, and I'm gonna do a good job. My friend that's in his band is a fucking sweetheart, man. What a fucking, just one of the nicest guys. I've known a few guys that's been in his band. Oliver, his drummer, I think Oliver's back in the band. He was out of the band for a while and he was in Go-Go Bordello. Oliver's a sweetheart. And then my friend Fredo, which I should, no, Fredo was not Ben Harper. Was he in Ben Harper? No. I don't know why Fredo never got, oh, I know why. Fredo went into Go-Go Bordello because Oliver had gone out of Ben Harper into Go-Go Bordello, but then he went back into Ben Harper, and then Fredo went into Go-Go Bordello. That's, I'm just talking to myself right now. I'm like, okay, wait a minute, I got this messed up. That's the real story. All right, so we're gonna remove these little brackets here. Sometimes they're a little bit tough. Not tough like they're violently stuck on, but there's really sometimes no room to, I need to, hold on. If you grab one side and you pull it off, it snags on the other side, so it's kind of like you gotta pull them both at the same time. Just fucking make it easy for me. I'm live on YouTube, motherfucking bracket. All right, we got you. Now putting them back on is way easier than taking them off. Oh, come on now, really? Ah. And then when it falls down, it's like, no. And I don't want to really, you can't fuck around with these too much because I don't want to mess up the screws. The screws have a lot to do with keeping this thing tight and not fucking up on you. You're coming off easy. So I got that under it. I got it. Oh shit. Hold on now. Alright. Hoochie poochie. Well, you know what? I am a Tascam, I guess I could be a Tascam artist. I reviewed their new recorders, and I've done a few, and actually I have Tascam headphones and gobos, because I'm a believer and I love Tascam. For film, I use products like Tascam Zoom. I was wondering your thoughts. You know, in all honesty, it's kind of the same. I use lavaliers on drums. So if you happen to have some lavaliers, they could be really great for bass guitar. I mean, I have SM98s, which are older. I love, on my kick drum, my drum sound is a lavalier hanging over the kick drum, hanging down with the beater hitting. And I have a lavalier right there. So if you have lavaliers, I would try them out on guitars, maybe toms. You can get like a drum set up with some lavaliers. It'd be interesting. But I think they're cross-pollinated, you know, for sure. Yeah, SM98 is a fucking genius mic. So here's the ribbon that's inside the mic. And let's take a look at it. I think this is a good ribbon. It looks like, you know, I've gotten some ribbons from MXLs and some Chinese companies that they fade, which is weird. It's like they're rusted and then they get shiny and then fade again. But I think that's because some impurities in the aluminum. Oh, Bradley, you sweetheart. You son of a bitch, Bradley. Did you buy me a coffee, Bradley, or did you buy me a Pellegrino? I'll buy one, whatever that is, with your money, man. Thank you, Bradley. Bradley is a badass. Thank you. Oh, coffee. I got it. I saw it. I got my glasses. So these are the ribbons that come with it, man. Thank you, dude. So these ribbons look pretty good, but like I say, I used to get them and they would fade, but they were chemical burns. What I didn't realize is that that's why when you get a lot of these mics, or cheaper mics or Chinese mics, they're completely sealed in plastic. It's because I believe like it's either formaldehyde or there's some kind of chemical in the plastic padding of the mic case, which is like fumes that come up and they eat the ribbon and they eat the microphone. I used to get MXLs and they looked like they were sunburned. Brand new. I'd take them out of the box and the back of it was just completely sunburned from the chemicals in it. So that tells you how bad plastics are. So I'm going to show you on how fragile. So this is the ribbon that's in it. You can flatten it out. Oh, it just broke. That's how easy, you know, these can break. So if you just do a little, you know, like magicians when they, except this one isn't going to pop into a rabbit or nothing. It's just going to turn into a tiny speck. So when people talk about what is ribbon mics and why they so, you know, put that fucking mic on a snare, don't be a pussy. Well, guess what? You just fucked up your ribbon mic. That's the ribbon. So this mic, that little speck, if I can show you. Right there. That is the ribbon that was in that mic. Did I lose it? I lost it. Oh, it is right there. It's on my finger. Yeah, that's it. That, you can barely see it. That is the ribbon. All that fucking ribbon is just right there. That's how fast you can totally ruin your mic. And I noticed a little something there. I caught it. Right in the middle of this is one I heard something fly out, and it was the that. So this is just stuck between the magnets. So you have to be careful. And I'd be working in there anyways, and I would know. Bradley, thank you so much. That was really sweet of you, man. I appreciate that. Well, you're not going to really mess up with lavaliers. Here's the thing with microphones. A lot of times, by accident, people find microphones that become their favorite microphones. Bradley, once again, thank you for the coffee. I'm a coffee whore. And like I said, if you want to send a thank you, you just look below the description or above the title, and you'll see a thank you, and you can buy me a coffee. Better yet, become a member. I have 8 members right now, and soon I'll be doing private videos and live chats with members. I'll try to give you guys all a word when I'll be going live. I have a few of my friends that are in England, so I will be trying to coordinate that. I have a friend in Guam. I'll look at all the times to see what I can narrow it down to the best time we can all meet up. All right, so we just took that out. Now, what I want now, here's the reason why I mentioned about I don't do apexes anymore. There was an era in the early 2000s, for whatever reason, these magnets that were this dimensions that they put in all the apexes rotted. So I recently did an 80, and I was able to save it, but it was just rotted out. And what it is, this is like a paint. And that paint blooms and opens up, and it blooms into the ribbon. So now the ribbon can't move, the mic is no good. Oh, dude, what's going on? Here's another drink. Oh, you son of a gun. Thank you so much, Bradley. Dude. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Everybody give Bradley a hey. Bradley's a sweetheart for keeping me my quench of my thirst. All right, so like I said, with apexes, these rot out. And I remember Shiny Box was a company that had bought all these Chinese mics and they rebranded them. And I believe he re-ribbed them, kind of like what I'm doing, and then he would resell them. But so many Shiny Boxes were going bad, and I think at one time I had like 5 Shiny Boxes that I was repairing. He actually sent me a few sets of these magnets. I have them somewhere, but I've just chosen not to do any more Shiny Boxes or apexes. Even though this is an apex, this is modern era, these magnets are definitely vetted now where they're not chipping away. And I'm sure Golden Age at this point would not let something go out that was rotting like the magnets. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean that area because you saw that little piece of metal flying there. A lot of other little specks of stuff flying there, and I want to make sure that doesn't happen. So let me clean it. Hold on one second. Sorry about disappearing. There's a guy that's sending me files, and every now and then he has some questions, and I got to make sure that I'm trying to do a tap dance between studio, do a tap dance with ribbon microphones, do ribbon mics, do mixes, do recalls. I've got some serious mics that I have to now test. I gotta make sure they fucking sound good before I send them out. And then there's some issues with shipping now. I have to make sure that when these mics go overseas, I don't have any problems with them. So, yeah, a lot to do. But here I am. Because it's inevitable. I've got to work on all these mics. And for me too, I'm learning. I'm learning about all these microphones. I get to Gap. Guys like Bradley buy me a coffee, or Pellegrino, or Topo Chico. Thank you so much, Brad. All right, so now that I've cleared that path, I need to know what the gap is on the ribbon. Let me get my schnizzle manizzle, just measure the gap. And the gap is, when I remove the ribbon, it's the gap between the 2 magnets. So if I was in England or New York, isn't it Mind the Gap? So everything looks good in this mic. I got nothing to say about it except I like the design. And the only thing that's faulty in this is just literally the ribbon. I think if these companies kind of did something about the ribbon departments, or in China, they just stepped up the ante because their capsules are getting really good. I don't know why the ribbons haven't gotten any better. But let's see if I can do this maybe better. Okay. All right, 5 millimeters. Hmm. So 520. And the magnet is just dragging my arm into this one. For 20. Wow. For 10. All right. So it looks like what I always said. So it's about 510 millimeters, and it's 520 millimeters right there. So there's a difference of 0.10 in the gap. Now that I know that, when I cut this ribbon, I will have one side a little bit more thinner than this side and try to get it in there perfect. So that's kind of the difference between something like this and if you were to buy a Kohl's or Royer. There would be no way on earth there would be a discrepancy or tolerance mistake of that being that much off, which is a lot technically. So if you drop a mic, if you drop a ribbon in there, and I'm only going up over the bottom one, when it gets up to the top, it's definitely going to be malnourished because it's going to be too thin. All right, so there you go. We're learning something every day. Oh, there's a little something. Hold on. Hold it now. So, hokey pokey, holy moly. I say fuck a lot. I'm trying to change it with other words. So hokey pokey, my schnizzle, my nizzle, as opposed to saying fucking shit. God damn it. My dad used to say God damn it all the time. I don't really say it that much though. God damn it. I'll say, what would I say if something really blows my mind? I'll say like, fucking shit. That's what I say. So my dad said, God damn it, I say fucking shit. So we've got I always keep everything in a little somewhere. You can buy these, and these have little trays in them. But at the time when I was buying those vices, they're really expensive. I just didn't have a lot of money. I still don't have a lot of money. People think I have an old Subaru. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not, like, coming on here telling you that I'm a fancy pants or I got a Rolex and, you know, oh, let me tell you about these records I worked on or whatever. I'm Grammy nominated. I could be. But there was a discrepancy in the, basically a dick engineer. He didn't put my name in. And I fucking engineered that motherfucking record that got Grammy nominated. But then again, you know, I have you guys. He doesn't have you guys. Right there, I'm already winning. Let's get my brain together. Oh shit, there's another little something right there. I was wondering where these two washers were. Alright, I see them. That's why you got this little board. It works really good. Alright, let's get that there. I think I could put this one to the side. Give me some more room. As the Three Stooges say, spread out. Not like that, but I think you know what I'm saying. Let's get my razor blades out. Let's find my lucky razor blade. It's not there. That's the one with the happy face. And definitely I carry my razor blades in a shot glass because of all the magnets. I have had these stick into my fingers when this flew. I was holding a mic and the razor blade flew into the magnet, which my finger was against. It was not fun. And then I've done stuff where I'm like, I'll go home later and let's say I'll wash my hands with soap. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And then like I can see my whole finger sliced right there. Didn't even know it. I mean, I do have calluses because I do play guitar. But, yeah. Sometimes it's just fast. So now we're going to... So this is... I buy these in bigger sheets, but these are broken down into quarters, and that's what I work with. Because if I destroy or accidentally damage this sheet, it doesn't ruin the whole lot. I'm running out. This is my last of a bit, and I've got to break out a new sheet. It takes about 2 hours for me to handle the raw aluminum and then to cut it into smaller sheets. It's a son of a bitch because I feel like if I fuck up, I'm ruining $100. These are like about $100 for the sheets. It's expensive. You know what I'm saying, man? You capiche, motherfuckers? I meant that in the most respectful way. Some people get tripped out on talk like that. Like I said, if I worked at Royer or AEA or Kohl's, I would not be cutting ribbons like this. I'll tell you why. If you worked at one of those ribbon mic companies, you'd have a big sheet of ribbon. You would just put this down, and to the paper, you would just make a notch, 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 and you go to the top and repeat. And then as you cut them, you just be doing that. But since I have that funky Medina shit going on with the different lengths, I can't. It's like that's the time-consuming part. Is I've got to measure every ribbon. And like I said, when I make my own ribbon mic company, I'm going to be able to now get the sheet and just mark them and then slice and dice them. And that's the way it should be done. But once again, these are Chinese ribbons, but I'm doing this basically to try to say, hey, don't give up. If you don't have a lot of money, we'll figure it out. And we'll try to get you some mics that sound cool. So if you want something like this, it's usually $250 a microphone, unless it's a double ribbon, like a stereo mic, or sometimes I forgot that model that has 2 ribbons in it. It's gonna be a little bit more for that, but it's $250, and you just send them to me. I'll give you my P.O. box. My information is in the description, and I'll get these for you. I got you. As they say in France, I got you, motherfucker. They do say it like that, just like that. That little noise in the back is my fan because I'm fucking cooking in here. And obviously it's a little dangerous to have wind around ribbons, so this is kind of like not really blowing at me, but it's kind of like around me. I can feel it a little bit. Alright, so we're gonna cut this. Actually, I don't like the way that's, I have this weird angle of it. It's like that whole muscle memory. If it doesn't feel right, I can't cut the ribbon. Getting the razor blade. And these razor blades, I mean, maybe I use these for a few days or maybe a week at the most, and then I'll replace it. It's good to have a sharp razor blade. I hate X-Actos. I don't know, I see a lot of people cut with X-Actos. They go dull too quick, and then really fast they tear the ribbon. So I've just used razor blades, and I can't complain. I can complain, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm putting some pressure on that. That's where you get close to ruining the ribbon. Ooh, ouchie, ouchie. That's scary. I usually get it one and done. I think if you watch my videos, usually I can get it done in one cut, which is good for me because that foil is really expensive. But only when I do coals do I ever run into that jam of like, I'm fucked. Coals are such a fucking hard bike to do. All right, so now we're gonna corrugate. This is my corrugating device. I made these ones, not really made them, but I found them, grinded them, made them fit. These are the ones that I corrugate with. These are the stock ones that come with it. These are, I don't know, 10 bucks you can buy them, 12 bucks. Plastic, shitty, but it works good. And I'm always checking them, and you kind of have to like make sure that they're always tight and they always feel good. And so far, these ones are really great. So we can tell these are really deep and these aren't. I filed these ones down until they compressed right, and I liked them. And like I said, I can't put paper in these ones because these are too tight. I could put paper in these ones, but I'm not because I don't corrugate with paper. I said it. Maybe that's the Manny secret. I don't know. But it could be. It takes some skill to do that. And like I said, getting a drink of my Pellegrino. I don't think that because I don't do paper and I do this, this isn't something that like not anybody can do. There's in the United States, there's probably, I would say, a handful of really good corrugators. I would consider myself one of them, but I'm somewhat of a novice in the sense of I'm not professional. I don't have a shop. Even though I have a mic company and I'm building my mic, I do not plan to be a repair guy. So if you got a 44 or a 77 RCA that you ran over in your car and it smashed, there's cats that you can send that to that could fix it. There's no fucking way I'm gonna do that. But I like sending shit off and getting it back and it's repaired. So there are cats that do that well. Get this paper separated from the ribbon. Hold on now. Where's my other tweezers. Where are you, tweezers? Oh, I didn't cut the bottom. Shit. I was like, oh, why isn't it coming apart? Of course, you didn't cut out the bottom. So I'll give you a little tip here. If you watch me cut these, a long time ago, I didn't really think about this. For instance, this is the sheet I'm cutting it from. A lot of times when I would watch shows like, let's say AEA or I think AEA, they would put a paper down. Oh, they put a paper down, and then they would add adhesive here and add adhesive here. And for me, when I was handling the foil, I go, that's fucking impossible to lay the foil down so you'd be able to adhere to the top. I can blow this up. That tells you how fragile it is, the top and the bottom. But if you can see on the back, years ago, I figured it out. So there's glue there, and there's glue there. And that's how I'm able to handle this and it won't break, because it's pretty much viced in between the paper. So when I talk about I'm trying to get the paper separated, it's because once I cut it, I have to then cut it out of the glue and remove it from the paper and not have it rip apart into a million pieces. So when you hear me doing it, that's the hard part, is once you do it, just handling the ribbon until it gets in the mic is sometimes where you fucking say fuck a lot because you fucked up the ribbon. But that took me a little bit of time to figure out. And I was doing oh shit, I just dropped the ribbon on the floor. Can you beat that fucking shit? Oh my god, as I'm talking about ribbon safety, I think I may have ruined the ribbon. Hold on. Holy shit. Did I? Holy shit, hold on. Well, as I'm talking about ribbon safety and handling it, I literally just dropped it on the floor, and then it landed in a weird angle where it disappears because it's on its side, and I'm like, holy fuck. So yeah, handling the ribbon material is a nightmare. But thank God I like it. If you don't have patience and the will to just know that you're gonna fuck up and you're gonna ruin ribbons and shit's gonna fucking go wrong, don't do ribbon mics. Because in some ways, it's a little bit like a guy that does magic tricks. If you do it right, no one will know what the trick is. And if you do it too slow or something's weird, it gets fucked up. Ribbon mics are kind of the same way. Like if I start laying it in and I get insecure and I'm like, oh no, what am I doing? And I feel like my muscle memory's off, I usually fuck up the ribbon. And also me talking. Like earlier today, I was repairing some other mics that are going out. And I didn't film it because I need to pay attention, more technical shit, soldering. And I'm just saying, like, I was somewhat relieved. I was like, wow, this is pretty easy because I'm not doing it here live. But then I also feel like tutorial-wise, if you are thinking about doing ribbon mics, I'm one of the few cats probably in the world that you can watch me do this shit. I mean, there's a difference when you see people that say, oh, I'm gonna make a ribbon mic, and you watch a guy get a coffee can, and he gets chewing gum, and he makes, it's pretty fucking unreal. I love it, actually. But to get a Royer, a 44, a Coles, which is probably one of the hardest mics on earth to re-ribbon, and I can definitely say, like, in the world, There's not a lot of people that can do coals, and I can. So I practiced really hard to learn the art of ribbon mic replacing, and I think I got it down. Not down, but it's like practicing. It's like Evel Knievel. Yeah, I'm gonna jump over those buses and I fucking munch it, or I'm successful. I don't know until I do it. So am I gonna be successful with this ribbon? We'll see. So there you see, there's no paper. I'm not corrugating that with any paper. Just going through the gears. That's right. Once you do the ribbon, you have to stretch it. If you are thinking about doing this, I recommend you watching how this is done or how this is made, and they go to Royer. When they show the guy blowing on these and stretching them, it's not even like he's showing off. It's part of why the mics become resilient, because he's stretching them out. So this way, when they hit loud sound pressures, which you know Royers brag about, the ribbon mic has to be able to take it. So I'm stretching this now. I can feel it. It's like a spring. But you don't want to do too much, but that's good enough. So I just released the tension in the ribbon because after I corrugated it, it was really, really tied up. Okay, let me get the ribbon mic back here. These mics are not that fun to change the ribbon in them because those little bolts are a fucking nightmare. But I'm up for the challenge. So let's see here. So what I need to do now is I need to get a new Q-tip. And that little noise in the back is my fan. I usually don't have that on, but before I do these shows, I put my air conditioner on so it's really cold in here, and then by the time I'm an hour into it, it's still not that bad. I had to do some work earlier, and I forgot to turn it on when I went live, and I realized, oh, fuck, man. This place is a fucking heater. So, bear with me. If I do more F-bombs, forgive me. So when I did this, that kind of got fucked up there. So I need to turn off my fan. And I need to address this by doing it the other direction. Hold on. I'm quiet, I'm tripping balls. Just so you know. I'm like, don't fuck it up. Shit. Okay. So that's correct. I don't know if you can tell the way it was before to this. This is great. Because now I got to put these fucking brackets on it, but I got to do it while the alcohol is still kind of wet. It won't fuck my shit up, and I won't be dropping a bunch of F-bombs. I'll be rejoicing. I'll be happy. Be happy, Manny. Fucker. It's a fucking nightmare to put on. They go into the ribbon and they fuck up your shit. Know what I'm saying? I'm not going to totally do it tight. Just make it snug. I don't want to make the bracket twist up. Like if it falls off that top right there, it'll fly in the ribbon. It's not fun. You don't have to do it crazy tight, but you should do it tight enough. Alright, that's good. Now I've got to do the bottom side. And that, even though I could do it here, my muscle memory, I do a better job over here. But now that I said that, I just jinxed myself, because that means when I put this on, fuck up. See? Don't go in the ribbon, don't go in the ribbon. Okay. Quiet, I'm tripping balls. I'm tripping right now. I'm like, don't fuck this up, man. You're live on YouTube. You. This is the screw I'm putting on. It's a bolt. I've got to put it on this top part and then twist it on. Then done, motherfuckers, as they say in France. Now here's the scary part. I have to blow on this. If I blow on it, it's too lax. That means as I was doing these two sides, maybe the alcohol didn't adhere too good to the ribbon and it slipped a little bit. It's good. Holy fucking cows, Batman. Jesus Christ. Alright, I wish I could say this is always easy, but even doing that ribbon was a little bit difficult. So what I've done to this ribbon here Because now I have probably not a 1.8, I have a 2.5. Even if this one came with a 2.5, I guarantee you their corrugation was not like my corrugation. They did it with paper. They did it within regular cogs just to get the job done. They didn't measure the gap, and they just threw the ribbon in there, rolled the dice. It's good. Like I said, one side's shorter than the other. So I just kind of met the difference of what I think it would be the closest to both measurements, and I got it. Now this ribbon mic, and this is from my friend in Ben Harper's band, or wasn't Ben Harper. I'm not sure. Maybe Ben Harper is not active right now. I don't know. But my friend is a wicked fucking dude. Real sweetheart. So what I need to do now is... Where's that motherfucking cage? Hold on. Hold it now. There it is. Shit. I thought I was out of the fucking blue. Out of the woods. Oh, that's a motherfucker. Don't fuck up. Oh, this long one right here is gonna fuck my world up. I have to go back in and do this one. I forgot about that. This is where it can get fucked up. Scary. so once I put this back together, I think I've already mentioned it to you, I'm not including these two things. When you get all these golden ages and you go back 20 years to Apex, whatever reason, the Chinese factory, what's up, Chris? The Chinese factories always include this. So this kind of goes over that. I think it's a little redundant. I'm not sure why this is why they do this. Probably realistically, because they don't really know how these are going to be used, and this adds an extra amount of protection of the ribbon. But I think most people now that are recording are recording enthusiasts, so you would use ribbon mics appropriately to what it was. This is a great overhead, front of the drum set. Maybe like around between the toms facing the snare. Probably on a small amp, this would be fucking killer. You don't put this on a Mesa Boogie cranked on 10 because it's a longer ribbon. But this, added to that, makes it darker, more, I think, a tubby, less detailed sound. So I've eliminated that because this screen still has silk underneath it. And if you talked about a Coles is this grill, silk, the ribbon's right underneath it. There you go. That's a classic, beautiful. You don't have to fuck with that design. That's a Coles. But this ribbon is 2.5. It's made resilient, more like a Royer ribbon. And there you go. So I'm going to put this back together, hopefully the way I know how to do it. And it is important that I put the right side on the right side. For instance, this is positive, and it would be on the front. There's the front. So this is a golden age. I mean, this is not my mic, but apparently there was a golden age right there, an R1 Mark II. This is passive. It's just the transformer inside, nothing else. Even that looks like there's a little thingamajiggy there. That's just basically a redundant plate. Instead of, they probably make these transformers with the wires coming out. They solder them to these, and then when you install them, you just have to solder these to the pins and you're done. It's kind of a faster way in the manufacturing of the mic. But I do have to make sure that that figure 8 sign, which is a figure 8, is on the front, which is this way. But I will test this mic because almost every golden age I've gotten, the phase is reversed. So it's important I check this out too. And if it is, I'll just flip that around. So I need to first attach this little cage inside to the bracket. Don't break any fucking cables, you know what I'm trying to. Let's see. A second, what am I doing here? I'm missing a component here. Where's your motherfucking thing? Where'd you go? I got a lost little roly-poly here that rolled away. Took it off. Hold on now. Wait. Let's get my area sorted here. Hold on. It's not that I went far, but my little bolt rolled away. Where'd you go, motherfucker? Hold on with that one. Oh, there it is. this one. Son of a bitch. I won't tighten them all tight till I get them all in. I've done that many times. We crank one down and it fucks up getting all the other ones lined up. So just kind of do them loosely, and then you can tighten them up. If I'm quiet, I'm tripping balls. So this one I'll crank. Hold it now. Like I said, my buddy just gave it to me and he's like, can you do this? But, yeah. Seems fucking tight. These didn't really sit well in there. It's kind of fucking that up when I want to go tighten it. It's not what I want. I think one of these is stripped out. Not intentionally, but see, when I pop it in, there's definitely a dance that these have to do together. So one just popped out more than the other. See it? Just did it again. Be fine. Right, to right, Manny. Not that one still moves a little bit, but at least one does. All right. Holy shit. Put on the wrong way too. Manny, what the fuck? Oh my god. How come no one's screaming at me? They're like, Manny, dude, I hate to tell you this. I know you think you're a badass, but that shit's backwards. This design is not my favorite, but these mics sound awesome. I will say that. And this design is something that's been around for a bit. Here, let me see. I don't think this is gonna win any beauty contest, but we're gonna do it. Fuck it. Voila. That is a Golden Age R1 redone. There's another one. This is a green mini that I do, which is technically, hold on, hold it now, hold that thought. It's technically this mic. So this is gonna fall now. So these are the green minis that I do. This is what it looked like before. I mean, honestly, I'm just having fun with this. This is not fucking all professional, but green is fucking cool. It's an Irish green. So this is an R144 upgraded the same way I did this one. This is how it is in its original form. This one isn't done, but I will do this one. And the way it works, if you do these, you know, I mean, these are a few $100. These are like $100. You can buy these on Sweetwater, send them to me. I'll violate them by making them green, but I'll put that same quality ribbon in these mics, and these $100 mics will sound like an $800 to $1,200 mic, maybe even a $1,400, depending if it's used or old or new. But my ribbons are fucking killer, and this belongs to the homie that was in Ben Harper. Hopefully he's happy. And these are what I do. Hit me in the my information's in the description. The best easy ones are MXLs, just because Sweetwater ships for free. So you can literally first contact me, get my P.O. box, and then you could literally go online, put in my P.O. box. The mic comes directly to me. You buy it for $100 or $112, whatever they are. If they're on sale, $99. Once I get them, it's $250 a mic. I recommend a pair, because if I do them both at the same time, the chances of them being closer being matched is better. And a pair of mics, a pair of ribbons is really fucking cool. And then once I do them, I'll send them back to you. I'll cover the insurance, and I'll cover the cost of the mic when I send them back to you. So if you buy these for $100, I'll insure it for the 100 being sent back to you, and I'll insure it for the 250. Just close to you running this over in your car. Even if you immediately get a mic I gave to you or hooked you up with, and you blow it through phantom power just by accident, you drop it or something happens, it's only $30 a ribbon, and you pay for the shipping, and I'll always do them. So if you have my mics, like even 2 years from now, and you're like, Manny, I'm going to send my ribbon in because I want to get it re-ribboned just to make sure it's a fresh ribbon, it's $30, and whatever shipping is from 2 years from now, I don't know, but that's all you got to cover. So there it is. This is a Golden Age R1, a passive ribbon. Now it has a Manny style ribbon in there. That's a 2-inch ribbon. This is a 1.5-inch ribbon. 2.5, 2x5 microns. The gap in this one was a little bit over 5. This one actually was, I think, close to 5.5. So, you know, pick your poison. Thank you guys for tuning in. Chaz, always great to hear from you, man. Let's talk. Coming up soon, man. Send me a message. And Bradley, thank you, Bradley. Q Dorian, I appreciate you tuning in. If you really want to help me out, you can become a member here. Obviously, everybody wants you to like and subscribe, but a membership, I have 8 members. I'm going to give you some exclusive content soon of some ribbon mics. Actually, I'm making my own ribbon mic, and I'll premiere that with you guys. And I have a really cool single coming up of my band that no one's going to hear, that I'm going to do a breakdown on that. Then lastly, if you want to help me out, ouchie, that is a Pellegrino. You can buy me a fucking coffee or Pellegrino under the description. It says a thank you. Hit that bad boy, and you just bought Manny a coffee or a Pellegrino or a membership. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. It's about 10 o'clock here Pacific Standard Time. I told my wife I was going to be home an hour ago. I'm snapping. Talk to you soon.